Through patient-centered care, community partnerships, and advocacy for effective public policy, CODA is dedicated to treating people whose health and quality of life are compromised by alcohol and drugs. We believe in the promise of hope.
My name is Ross Robbins.
Not so long ago, Ross and his husband were both enduring the effects of opioid addiction.
Ultimately, we were living in a tent in a park. No friends, no family around. It's just the two of us. We reached a point where we felt really hopeless.
CODA and our community of providers are committed to giving hope and support.
There were people at multiple agencies who really treated us with kindness and respect. And when you're living on the street, a lot of days you don't get much kindness or respect from people. They just sort of see you as a problem.
Then, Ross started to believe that things could actually get better.
I have a counselor I meet with here at CODA. She said to me, I look forward to our meetings because you always have good news and you're always so happy. And that's a moment when I started to believe that maybe this time actually was for real. I was actually moving forward in my life and investing in my recovery. I got so much confidence from that.
Melissa's most recent moment of hope occurred when she was granted early admission to a phase of treatment where she was given more freedom and personal responsibility.
When they gave it to me, it just showed me that what I'm doing is right and it's being seen and noticed. And that's one thing I've struggled my whole life, is not being seen. I'm in this to break the cycle in my family. I have 2 daughters. My kids are in my life today. Them seeing me change and telling me that they've seen me change, and that's what matters.
Family is also important to Ben in his recovery.
When I first felt hope, when I started getting my life back, really, getting my job back, moving forward, making my parents proud again. Just getting the relationship back with my father. I didn't have one when I was using, and just getting that back has been great. That's probably the best thing so far.
Like many, CODA patient Tony has a recovery story that is long and complicated.
I've been drinking and using for a long time.
When he was younger, Tony was convinced that his substance use had led him to do unforgivable things. Finally, he confided in a prison chaplain.
I never really considered myself a Christian or anything like that, but he said something to me that changed my life. What if your son would have just told you all the things you told me? Would you forgive him? I said, of course. If you have children, you know what unconditional love is. So that kind of changed everything. It kind of opened the door for me. All the guilt and shame that I felt stayed in that room when I left. I walked out, still in prison, freer than I'd ever felt in my life.
CODA staff includes many people whose personal addiction stories also contain hope and inspiration.
My name's Brenda Sullivan. I'm a recovery mentor at CODA. I was 27 years old. I weighed 86 pounds. I had been dragging my 2 little boys around, leaving them for months with my parents. And this one time my dad finally said, you either get clean or I'm gonna have to, kick you and the boys out. So I went to detox, and I came out of the room one day and I was informed that I had slept for 3 days. What I heard was I had 3 days clean. I hadn't been clean in 14 years, not even a day.
Brenda got help from many separate organizations, and today she works with other people struggling with substance use.
I've been at CODA now 4.5 years. What I like is that it gives us the opportunity to utilize our past for good and to model what it looks like to change your life.
Marlon is another CODA staff member who lost one life in Canada but gained another here in the U.S.
My name is Marlon Ashford. I'm a certified peer mentor here at CODA Gresham Men's. I was heavily in my addiction with crack cocaine.
After losing both his mother and grandmother in a short period of time, Marlon decided to make a change.
I put on a backpack, crossed over the bridge into Michigan, and I said, God, I need your help to make it to San Diego, California, walking, with no money, no nothing, just a backpack.
In his trek across the United States, he found hope and inspiration in many unexpected places.
I never asked for food, money, shelter. I never asked for anything. but yet everything was given, from policemen to just regular people.
Marlon faced many ups and downs in his journey, but eventually ended up working for CODA.
And for CODA, for the men and the women, I tell them every day, you're doing great. You are important. What you're doing is important.
It's a common theme among CODA staff in recovery, the desire to give back, to pass on the same kind of courage and confidence they received.
I'm Misty. I am the Washington County Drug Court clinician on the drug court team. I think the first time I felt hope is after I had just gotten my GED while I was incarcerated at Coffee Creek, and I was the lead for the computer lab. And it was Miss Gray, Nancy Gray. She was the one that really gave me hope when it came to getting out and actually doing things. She would give me the confidence I needed to become who I am today.
Today, Misty tries to be that same sort of person for the patients she works with.
I think that's when the hope really starts coming too, is when you start feeling like you're not lost and you have people to go to.
Gloria is a certified recovery mentor in CODA's research department.
My first sense of hope in my recovery was coming to CODA and being in a community who shared similar experiences as me, which was struggling with addiction. Coming to CODA helped me feel supported and helped me feel like I could do this recovery thing.
Ivy Myers has been in recovery for almost 2 decades.
I'm Ivy Myers. I'm the Recovery Mentor Supervisor here in Hillsboro. 20 years ago, I was charged with a Class A felony and was sent to Coffee Creek Correctional Facility.
Ivy's biggest moment of hope in her recovery is happening right now.
This is my application for Senate Bill 819 that Maggie Powers from Metropolitan Public Defender's Office put together for me. Senate Bill 819 is a bill to resentence people convicted of Class A felonies which are not eligible for expungement.
The application folder holds letters of support from legal, judicial, and correctional officials Ivy works with in the course of her job at CODA.
One letter that I particularly like is from the Honorable Judge Whipper from Washington County Circuit Court. It says, I rely on her perspectives to inform my decisions, and I also appreciate her calm and consistent demeanor. That is surreal to hear, to have a judge say that she relies on my perspective to inform her decisions.
Over and over again, we see these moments of hope, real people connecting with one another, making it possible to envision a better life. Today, both Ross and his husband work at an organization that provides support for some of the most vulnerable members of our community.
I have no illusions that I'm going to save the world or solve the homelessness problem, but I think the answer to homelessness and to addiction is really one person helping another person one at a time. If you can just be that helping hand or that bit of kindness and bring some light into someone's world, that can make a huge difference.